This video is brought to you by the Paladin Learn History app. This is Carthage. The year is 264 BC. Rome is just a regional bully in Italy fighting over mud huts. But Carthage? Carthage is the master of the Mediterranean. It is the richest, most technologically advanced city on Earth. If you stood on the Bursa Hill and looked down, you wouldn't see a chaotic mess like Rome or a small philosophical town like Athens. You would see a glittering white megalopolis of 500,000 people, towering apartment blocks, and the greatest harbour ever engineered by human hands. I used modern AI to reconstruct Carthage at its absolute zenith just before the First Punic War began. This isn't the ruin the Romans left behind. This is the superpower that almost broke history. The day begins at 4 a.m. It's dark, and the air smells of salt, cedar, and something sharper, murex dye, the smell of rotting shellfish that meant money. You wake up in a high-rise. This is one of the things that makes Carthage unique. While Romans were living in sprawling single-story villas or rickety wooden tenements, Carthaginians built up. Some apartment buildings in the Magara district were 6 stories high, made of white limestone and cistern concrete. You step out onto a balcony. The streets below are paved. Carthage paved its streets centuries before Rome did, and they are straight. This is a planned city, a machine for living. By 6 a.m., the sun hits the most famous structure in the ancient world, the Cothon. This is the heart of the empire. It's a double harbour. The outer harbour is rectangular, filled with merchant ships from everywhere: Cornwall, Cameroon, Tyre, Marseille. But you have to pass through a narrow canal to get to the inner harbour. And this is the secret weapon. The inner harbour is perfectly circular, like a donut. In the centre is an island, the Admiralty Island, where the admiral of the fleet lives in a tower so he can see every ship, but no one at sea can see him. This military harbour is the most terrifying piece of engineering in 264 BC. It holds 220 warships, quinqueremes. These are the battleships of the day. They are tucked into dry docks, slipping into stone sheds like cars in a garage. And here's the kicker. The Carthaginians invented mass production here. Every part of a ship, the keel, the ribs, the oars, is standardized and stamped with a letter. They could build a fully functioning warship in a few days just by assembling the kits. You are looking at the IKEA of naval warfare. The sound of hammers and saws is constant. They are building the fleet that owns the sea. By 8 a.m., you head to the Agora, the central market near the lower town. If you speak Latin or Greek, you're in trouble. The language here is Punic, a Semitic language that sounds like ancient Hebrew. The crowd is the most diverse on the planet. You see Numidian horsemen from the desert with their dark skin and braided hair, Greek mercenaries, Iberian swordsmen, and blue-eyed Gauls. They are all here for one thing: trade. Carthage didn't conquer land like Rome, it conquered markets. You see stalls selling tin from Britain, a secret trade route the Carthaginians guarded with their lives because you need tin to make bronze. You see piles of purple cloth. This is Tyrian purple. It's made from crushing thousands of murex sea snails. It stinks during production, but the dye is worth its weight in gold. Only kings and the ultra-rich wear it, and Carthage controls the supply. The wealth flowing through these streets is staggering. There are no beggars here. The state is so rich it subsidizes food for the poor to keep the peace. By 10 a.m., you climb the Bursa. This is the citadel, the Acropolis of Carthage. It dominates the skyline. At the top is the massive temple of Eshmun, the god of healing. The stairs are lined with palm trees, the symbol of the city. Carthaginian literally means new city. But up here, you don't find a king. Carthage is a republic, but not like Rome. It's an oligarchy. It's run by the suffets, 2 judges elected every year, and a senate of the rich. In Rome, you need family lineage to rule. In Carthage, you just need money. If you are rich enough, you can buy influence. It is a merchant aristocracy. They don't care about glory. They care about profit margins. By 12 p.m., the heat is intense. You head out of the dense urban center towards the Megara. This is the garden district inside the massive city walls. It looks like a paradise. The The Carthaginians were the greatest farmers in history. While Romans were still figuring out crop rotation, a Carthaginian named Mago wrote a 28-volume encyclopedia on agriculture. He taught them how to graft trees, how to irrigate, how to breed livestock. The Megara is full of fruit trees, pomegranates, the Punic apple, figs, olives, almonds. Canals channel water to every plot. It's quiet here, smelling of blossom and wet earth. This is where the aristocracy lives in marble villas, escaping the noise of the port. By 2 p.m., you visit the walls. The defensive walls of Carthage were legendary. They were triple layered. They were 13 meters high and nearly 10 meters thick. But the crazy part is what was inside the walls. The walls were hollow. They contained barracks for 20,000 soldiers and stables for 300 war elephants. Yes, elephants. You are walking past the ground floor of the wall and you smell the musk and hay. You see a mahout scrubbing the rough skin of a North African forest elephant, a species that is now extinct, smaller than the African savanna elephant, but big enough to trample a Roman legion. The sheer logistics of feeding 300 elephants inside a city wall is mind-boggling, but Carthage does it. By 4 p.m., you head back to the workshops. Carthage is a factory. You enter the glass-blowing district. They are making millions of tiny glass beads, eye beads, to sell to tribes in Africa and Europe. They are mass-producing cheap jewelry, pottery, and perfumes. It's loud, hot, and industrial. The Carthaginians were masters of copying. If they saw a Greek vase they liked, they would figure out how to mass-produce a cheaper version and flood the market. They were the supreme capitalists of the ancient world. But by 6 p.m., as the sun sets, the mood changes. We have to talk about the shadow over Carthage, the religion. You head to the Tophet. This is an open-air sanctuary sacred to the goddess Tanit and the god Baal Hammon. For centuries, Roman propaganda said Carthaginians sacrificed children here. Modern archaeology is split, but many believe it was true during times of crisis. The atmosphere here is heavy. You see stone steles, grave markers, inscribed with vows. To the Lady Tanit, face of Baal, that which he vowed, because he heard his voice and blessed him. The air is thick with incense and the sound of drums and flutes, loud music meant to drown out the cries. It's a dark, primal counterpoint to the sophisticated scientific city we saw earlier. It reminds you that this is a Canaanite civilization with roots deep in the ancient Near East, holding on to traditions that the Greeks and Romans found horrifying. By 8 p.m., you are invited to a banquet. The food is exotic. Romans ate bland porridge. Carthaginians ate spicy stews. Harissa is a descendant of their cuisine. You are eating couscous, roasted lamb, and garum sauce. You are drinking wine from the Cap Bon Peninsula, which was famous across the Mediterranean. The conversation isn't about philosophy, it's about exploration. You might meet a captain who has sailed with Hanno the Navigator. Hanno sailed all the way down the coast of West Africa, seeing gorillas and volcanoes. He called them chariots of the gods. Carthaginians had maps of the world that the Romans wouldn't believe existed. They knew the Atlantic wasn't the end of the world, it was a highway. By 10 p.m., you are standing on the roof of a high-rise near the harbour. The city is lit by thousands of oil lamps. The lighthouse on the Admiralty Island sweeps its beam across the dark water. You can see the silhouette of the quinqueremes in their sheds, sleeping beasts ready to launch. In 264 BC, this city looks invincible. It has the money, the ships, the walls, and the elephants. But looking at it now, you feel a chill, because across the water, in Italy, the wolf is waking up. The Romans are coming. They won't beat Carthage with money or technology. They will beat them with sheer, bloody-minded stubbornness. In just over 100 years, this entire city will be burned to the ground, the stones scattered, and the earth allegedly sown with salt. The language will die. The books of Mago will be lost. But for tonight, Carthage is the queen of the sea. The sails are full, the treasury is overflowing, and the harbour is open for business. It is a tragedy of history that we only know them through the eyes of the people who destroyed them. But standing here in the Golden Age, you realize they were so much more than just Rome's enemy. They were the other path Western civilization could have taken, a path of trade, exploration, and science cut short by the sword.